when you talk about the corporate world and moving in those other settings, I, one of my personal beliefs is that one of the things that I found that works best for me as a black male. However I present myself, I can present myself a little more aged.
Mm-hmm.
I can shave, present myself younger by how I dress. I
Mm-hmm.
love having that control and
Mm-hmm.
power over people,
Mm-hmm.
especially people outside of my community.
Mm-hmm.
You can present
Mm-hmm.
and get a certain kind of response. I found that, and I'm not making myself vulnerable by saying this because it's still going to happen. They can't turn it off. One of the best cheat codes that I use to my advantage, and I want to know if you ever found this, is being underestimated. I find that's my number one card
Mm-hmm.
with moving through places and spaces,
Mm-hmm.
is being underestimated. Because once you have a prejudgment about me or stereotype me or have this, as we say, this monolithic worldview
Mm-hmm.
or cultural view of me as a black male, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the old game Battleship
Mm-hmm.
way back when we were kids?
Yeah.
And you can't see on the other side and you're just trying to guess and find.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never hit me because in your mind you think I'm somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm somewhere totally opposite. And I'll never let you know that
Yeah.
you're missing.
Yeah.
I want you to think you're hitting
Yeah.
because then you can't hit. Do you find that? So I know what you mean when you talk about moving through corporate.
Mm-hmm.
Life, if we paid attention, can be a cheat code
Mm-hmm.
in other environments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to speak too much
I
about it,
think
but I don't want any details.
on the corporate side, it was over with once I got that seat at the table. Then I could, come through and shine. I just needed that seat at the table, and I worked hard to get that. And once I got there, I was good. Now, there were some that were, some counterparts that were intimidated by that or tried to, sabotage that. But I stayed, true to myself. And, when you're in the corporate world and you have this skin color, you have to be impeccable. You have to be, just about perfect, flawless, because if they find one little thing, they'll try to hold that against you and wipe out your livelihood.
Wow.
So, I just make sure that I remain mindful of that. But to say that I am unpredictable, I would
I'm
use,
saying where
yeah,
they can.
yeah, but I would say that is more so with my position in the community.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
because the way Omaha moves, unfortunately, and some will agree, some will disagree, is there's a lot of clout chasers. There's a lot of what my brother AK Anthony Kellogg would call real versus popular.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm what you call real.
Right.
And, when I really stepped out into, creating my own platform, I actually made a Facebook post. And I said, if you won't allow me a seat at the table, I'll create my own platform.
Absolutely.
So you'll never be able to shut me up.
Absolutely.
And I did that. That was intentional, and I did that. And that was because I was working with other groups, and other entities. And it was like, they had like this, you can't sit with us type mentality.
Absolutely.
And I've been blacklisted, it's just funny, just based off of
If you
their
saw the list,
their
you
personal.
You should have seen my name.
Yeah, just based off of, them personally, And I've had
Absolutely.
some that have come back and apologized, and we've been able to work together. And I had some that, we still don't speak, and that's fine.
Right.
I feel like if we're all out here to do this work, we should be able to work together. Put your
Right.
personal
Right.
differences to the
Right.
side, and let's do this work.
Right.
But I'm not a clout chaser. I'm not a yes man.
Right.
And I won't bend or fold on my values, and my morals.
It took me a lot of studying to get there. And I will say I don't think I got there until maybe 2017, 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Where I think after enough studying, I read some really critical works I tell people all the time, one that really helped me was post-traumatic slave syndrome
Mm-hmm.
by a lady named Dr. Joy DeGry.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Again, that's post-traumatic slave syndrome. It tore me down. It busted me up in some areas because it identified me, helped me
Mm-hmm.
identify, do some self-identification and some things about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And she did a lot of comparisons with our black social climate
Mm-hmm.
versus Africa's,
Mm-hmm.
and how we move and some of the reasons why we move the way we move.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Minister Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to a lot more of his recordings in first person
Mm-hmm.
as he matured in his later years, where he got to the point to say and to tell those that would listen, don't fight another brother or sister's work or the good that they're doing because you don't get along.
Right.
Don't tear them down publicly. You know, he kind of put some law out there
Mm-hmm.
on how to move, and who better than somebody who Hoover is after
Right.
and the government is after, plus now the nation,
Mm-hmm.
that conflict with the nation and can't trust people. He's literally telling us how to move, you know, for the better, for those of us that are going to do any kind of work
Right.
for the greater good
Right.
of the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it wasn't until I really began to take some of their lessons and teachings to heart to where I think it matured whatever part in me that, you know, you come at me, I come at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't like me, then I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I got over it. It took studying and love of self, and then kind of identifying how we got where we are,
Right.
for me to be like, you know what, God bless you and the ones you helping.
Mm-hmm.
2 to 2,000.
Right.
I'm glad you helping them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna come at you. So not as to not threaten
Mm-hmm.
or compromise the help of the ones that's getting help.
Right.
Maybe you don't do it the way I do it. Our philosophies may be different. I may not like how you're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but for the sake of those that you're helping, that have no idea about any of this stuff I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I'll never publicly demean
Right.
you, fight you. You know, and really, to be honest, not even so much in back rooms, back doors. I'm going to do my work,
Right.
you know. And to be honest, some of the things other people are doing, I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even me.
Right.
So I need you doing that.
Right.
And I think, you know, on the spiritual side, the proverb of the body and the diversity of the body.
Mm-hmm.
And my eyes are not my feet, and my feet are not my hands, and my hands are my ears, and they all look different and function different and have not much relating to the other. But when you put them all together, they're all very necessary.
Right.
You know, and I may want to lay in bed all day only because of my ear.
Mm-hmm.
So if my ear goes down and the wrong earache, my teeth are hurting, my back is tight because my muscles now are sore, all off an ear.
Mm-hmm.
So I need the whole body to be okay, as healthy as can be.
Yeah.
And I think I learned that I need the work. Listen, I need the work that Rob is doing for him to do that work,
Mm-hmm.
and the work that Kasim is doing, and the work that Willie is doing. Like, there's no overlap.
Yeah.
And then Sherman and you, and then when I see the work that you're doing, it's like we need everybody to do this work
Yeah.
because everybody's really doing something unique.
Yeah.
Our stories are different. We are relatable to different people.
Yeah.
You know, I can already think of young people that I know. All I got to do is tell them she opened up for Woo. They're like, Woo who? Woo what? And that opens the door. They're sitting down on the floor like, tell me whatever you want to tell me. First tell me that, and then tell me the other.
Right.
You know, it gives you so many touch points and access. But all of our stories are so unique, but we're critically important
Mm-hmm.
to the whole fabric. Like, this city is very cutthroat. Just, it's kind of like what you said. We can go toward this bag. When you're looking for money and for help and for assistance outside of your own community, there's like this dog eat dog kind of thing where, listen, I say it openly all the time. Everything we need is in our community. Every dime, every dollar. In this nation, everybody knows we're over $1 trillion spending consumer economy. We got it.
Right. Definitely.
We got it.
Definitely.
Walmart getting it, Target's getting it, gas station getting it, Hennessy getting it, the bottling companies are getting it, cigarette companies getting it, the weed man getting it, everybody getting it. But we have it. Anything we want to build, we can build in one weekend. Definitely. We can buy whatever we want to buy. Yeah. Anything missing, we can replace it. We don't need anyone's money. We've got money. Yeah. We got it here. We got it here. It's in the sock. It's under the shoe. It's under the car mat. We have to get together. But money is not our issue. It's a people. Right. We got the money. We got the bag. Ain't no I'm getting to the bag. We got the bag.
You're right.
We got the bag. You know, what is you're starting to speak to that, like the uniquenesses in our city. I'm hoping in my generation I will see a cooperation, and I'm seeing it. Like, don't you see it? Aren't you starting to see a cooperation of like-minded people who are getting down to the work? Like, I've not seen so many people getting active.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
I haven't seen that in on some positive stuff. I've not seen it like this, I don't think.
Yeah.
I've been all my life.
I haven't seen it here. I have to say that. I haven't seen it here, and I think, you would call me a boomerang. I left and I came back. And one thing that really stood out to me as an adult living on the East Coast was like our people was really for each other. You know, if you started a business or you wanted to start a business and then you have this brother or sister over here that's already in this business and you network, they help you. Because it's enough out here for us all to get it. You know,
it's out here.
But here is like it's the mentality of, I actually heard someone say, don't drop the jewels. Don't drop the jewels. You giving them too much. Why not? Why not? It's enough out here for everybody to get it.
Right.
Right. And if we can come out of that mentality, like if they're successful, that's going to take away from your success. No, that's not, because what God has for you is for you.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer of that. And because I help this man or this woman, it's not going to take anything from me. If anything, is going to add to it.
Right.
And we just have to get out of that mentality. And then it's like you have so many different entities and organizations and groups, like all doing some of the same things. And it's like, that's a waste of time for me to reinvent the wheel. When I see what you are out here doing and it's working, how can I be of assistance?
Period.
I have a lot of people with me. I have a lot of people that are willing to volunteer and really get out here and do the work. So if you have an initiatives, and that was one of the reasons why I started North Omaha Community Partnership. It is indeed a partnership. And so, we work with a lot of grassroots initiatives that need that support. So grassroots, meaning you don't have the 501c3 status.
Right.
But you have a program that works.
Right.
That's reaching our people, that it's working. Well, I serve as your fiscal agent to get some of that funding in.
That's right.
And bring it to your programming.
That's right.
If you need manpower, I have volunteers, and myself.
Right. Right.
And we make it happen.
Right.
To make your initiative a successful one. And it's nothing that I take over, that I need to have my name on. It's working for the community. I want to be a part of that change.
Right.
So I assist with that. And it's still yours, you still own it. I'm just helping because it's for the people.
Right.
And if we are truly for the people, we should be able to do more collaborations and work together as a whole for the people. Yeah, on behalf of the people. And, like I mentioned when we did the Community Fund Day, a couple of weeks ago, my intention was to get everyone involved in partnership and collaborate. Reached out to Black Men United. He was on board, of course, BAA and Untamed, and then We also had Positive Productive Fathers of the North Omaha chapter. Brian, he came in. I had never met Brian before, but I heard good things about what he was doing in the community. I'm like, okay, let's work together.
Right.
They had a backpack, giveaway that was planned. But they were having it on the field where there was no restrooms, and they were going to have to need generators and things like that. So I'm like, well, we could all have it here together, put our resources together. Nobody's pointing out, oh, well, you contributed only this, or you contributed only that, or this is mine. It was none of that. This is ours.
Right.
And we're going to serve our community collectively.
Right.
And so we did that under one roof, had, community resources available along with the fund. Nothing we ever do for our community is a handout.
Right.
I don't want anyone that ever comes to any of our events or interacts with our organization feels like it's a handout, because it takes a village.
That's right.
It takes a hood, as my brother Sherman would say. Exactly. That's what we're here for, to help one another, to get us to the next level, And so, with doing that, that was a very successful event.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Congratulations on it. And I know that doesn't even sound like the right thing to say, but congratulations on, just being the type of person that can get that kind of cooperation.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Thank you.
It was crazy. Like, from the old school cars parked and the kids checking them out, to Steve Nelson with the games going on, entertaining the kids, and the food and everything, the music, everything, haircuts going on, like everything.
Yeah.
And when Michaela came to us and said, you want us to come down, I was like, then that's it. There will be no back to school program here this year. Like you said, I'm not trying to nobody here, we're not going to do what everybody else is doing or what is already successfully being done. We may do things for ourselves and everybody's invited or whatever.
Yeah.
But, we're not going to do turkey legs when they're doing turkey legs across the street, and then 3 blocks down they're doing turkey legs.
Right.
We're just not about to start doing the same thing because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll support. How can we support whoever's already? I've not seen this. I feel like it's new. I've not seen it. I can't say it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I grew up, we at Carter Lake. I met Carter Lake as a kid at the Stone Soul Picnic.
Right.
Like, Sundays is concerts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's ETC and all these other bands when we little. It wasn't this. Like, it wasn't this divided and all of this. I don't know if it's the positioning for money to fund programming. And I always tell people, when I hear little stuff, I say, listen, I'm not arguing with my mom and dad's classmates. Pick on somebody your own age.
Right.
You too old to even be talking to me.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what I'm doing. You 60, 70 years old. Don't talk to me. Don't even, nothing you even need to say to me.
Yeah.
Unless you want to put something in my hand.
Yeah.
Write a little check. I'm not talking to you. We have no argument. You can argue all you want to. And like you talked about, even the church community in the city. Whatever. Whatever. All that's whatever. This is what we want to do. We sit down and collaborate.
Right.
It's not a one-man, one-woman show.
Right.
I'm limited. There's only so much I can do. There's only so much I've studied. There's only so much I'm versed at. So much I'm good at. Only so much then I'll be able to do.
Yeah.
But when you start putting all these other pieces together and all these other strengths and everybody's gifts and talents, that body again, you start making a body out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fear.
Yeah.
Somebody's afraid that a body would come together. And then you're dealing with something else.
Yeah.
You're dealing with something else. We're up on a break. We have another segment. We have one last segment. Everybody on fan base, we're going to go off and come back on. We don't want them to cut us off for time constraints until they see we have enough engagement to let us just go. It's coming. Fan base, again, we need that capability where we can have all of our cameras going, but we are here. We're not on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram Live as we normally are because we're trying to support fan base and Isaac Hayes III's app. And if we have to do a little less to be able to support, that's what we're going to do. We're supporting our own. So we're going to log off, take a quick break, come right back on. Fan base, come right back on. We're going to disconnect you, and then we're going to open it back up. So come right back on, and then everyone listening will take a quick break, and we will have our last segment with this very, very amazing, layered, and nuanced young lady, the Mrs. Tamika Mease of Omaha, Nebraska. This boomerang, East Coast, Midwest, East Coast, Midwest, East Coast, Midwest. That's where we're getting all this from, and we will be right back after these. And I appreciate you for your time being here. I'm learning a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I usually talk a lot, but I'm learning tonight. And I appreciate you sharing so generously and candidly. We were speaking of coming into this segment about the cohesion and the cooperating with grassroots organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And without that bureaucracy and red tape and having an answer to organizations, we see a quick something happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this discussion, I believe, with one of the gentlemen today. I was listening to an interview, several interviews here recently, and they were conducted here in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hearing some brothers speak on solution-oriented ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some things we can do. Here's some approaches. Here's some this. Consider that. What we need is this. You have some people talking about health. We have to take better care of our bodies. We have to quit eating fast food, all this processed food. You know, we're not from here. We need foods that agree with our DNA.
Right.
I agree with all that.
Yeah.
Then you had a brother talking about, but the economics, and we need this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can't buy the food, but we, and there's, if you're sick, no matter how much money you have, you got to have a healthy body. All that's true.
Mm-hmm.
We need to begin to grow our own food. And so this discussion was being had.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing I haven't heard before, but after a while I started getting frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I like about the millennials and the Zs, is they may not have all the information. They don't even know where to do the research to get the data.
Mm-hmm.
They just do it.
Mm-hmm.
When the power was out last year for a segment of our neighborhood in true Robert Wagner fashion, you know what, y'all? We need a community event right now because people can't eat because they lost their food because of refrigerators and they don't have cold water and don't have this and that. And I think we need to go to Fontenelle Park right now, and we need to. So if you're hungry, come to the park. And we're like, okay, so how's this happening? He said, I don't know what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you mean? Bring it.
Yeah.
Bring water, bring ice, bring cooler, like right now.
Right.
Not sitting back strategizing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our condition as a people, and I don't think I know, it's too critical for all this talking. Thank God for our intellectuals, our strategists, those who have studied logistics and scheduling and what do they call it? Strategic planning.
Right.
All of that.
Right.
All that. All the corporate boardroom, Egghead, MIT, do it.
Right.
But there's kids hungry right now.
Right now.
Thirsty right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that we need 5 strategic planning meetings until we take action and ask money from all of these agencies because it should come to us because they redistrict. We know all of that.
Mm-hmm.
We know all of that. And now downtown, this part of downtown is now considered North Omaha, but that money's supposed to be redirected. We ain't got time for that.
Right.
It's too critical a moment. It's go time right now.
Right.
And that's what I'm loving now, is that this is go time.
Yeah.
This isn't push the pin time. I don't care who's listening right now and them not liking what I'm saying. And yes, all of that strategic planning and all of that is wonderful in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
But I bet you we could buy a house faster than they could plan it.
Yeah.
With buckets on the streets. I promise you. And it's coming.
Yeah.
Like this is an action generation.
Yeah.
And I want you to speak to that, coupled with, I like something you said earlier. You said organizations have to be relatable, trustworthy organizations as far as the community is concerned. I say it all the time. You can want to help whoever, but they have to accept your help.
Mm-hmm.
And the people, and let me change like the streets will tell you who they want helping them or who they go mess with.
Exactly.
Period.
They will.
I don't care who you are, star, celebrity, what title you have, from the president to the prime minister. I don't care who or what you are. I don't care if you come from Africa and you the king of Zamunda. I don't care if you the Black Panther and you just came from where he lived. Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't choose you, you're not moving anything
Right.
in the hood, in the streets, where the work is at.
Mm-hmm.
Period. They choose, and you rock with that.
Yeah.
And you do what they tell you you're allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
And stay in your lane and stay in your place and everything will be good.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
There are people who don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
The people choose, and they've chosen. And we see it all the time. They've chosen. There's nothing you can do but support those who have chosen.
Mm-hmm.
The people have chosen. Period. You can't overrun them. You can't outspend them. I don't care how much money you spend on anything. We saw during the last Omaha days, people saying, hey, I want to participate with my food truck. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay, well, here are the new rules, and here are the new this, and here's the new that. The people said, then we off the deuce. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it this way.
Mm-hmm.
This is organic.
Right.
I pull up where I pull up. This is family.
Right.
I move. We migrate up and down the street. I may pop up here for an hour. I'm going to go pop up down there for an hour and a half. Now you're saying there's all these new little stipulations and rules. Later, 30th Street. Later, we'll go out to the strut. Later, we gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Yeah.
The people dictate the tempo
Yeah.
and the pace. Period. That's one positive thing I think about cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not messing with you, we're going to put the word out, and we're not messing with you.